I know. He's gonna say this is the way his ads are gonna work. Okay. He's gonna say, look at all the roads that I've helped you to build. When wait a minute, hold it now. Listen to me. When wait a minute, it's your money that you sent to Washington, and all they did was they took a little bit off the top and they sent a little bit back to Arkansas to help you. But people, unfortunately, who are not informed and don't pay attention to politics like we do, are going to think, wow, what a great person that he's done this for me. That he's helped us to build our nasty roads out there and to do these other things. And oh, he gave a grant to this hospital and everything else. What we need to do is we need to go out and we need to spread the word that it's your money, that they're spending it and they're not spending it in a good way. But as I said, folks, I'm going to need your help to raise money. Maybe you can only give $1, maybe $5 or $10. You know what? If we can get 10,000 people, which isn't a whole lot, to contribute $10 a month, then by November 2nd, 2010, I can raise the money that I need to get my message out, to go out and to inform the people via TV and radio, Vic Schneider's record, because that's all he does, he just buys ads. And to really get out there and come to events like these and let people know, just like yourself, exactly what Washington is doing. So I just ask that you would think about that and tell other people about that. And I'm going to end with this. People, the tide is turning. We've gotten some new polling data that says, this past week, that says that 60% plus of Arkansans are either strongly dissatisfied or somewhat dissatisfied with their congressman.
That's right. That's right.
Okay? So you're not alone. There's 60-something%. And I bet you if you were to actually poll on this health care bill, it would probably be even higher than that, because we know that 86% of Arkansans are happy with their current health care bill. And secondly, they said if the election were held today on a generic ballot, that 45% are either going to vote for the Republican or they're leaning Republican. Folks, Vic Schneider is vulnerable. He is beatable. Don't let anybody tell you anything different.
He's scared.
Yeah, he is scared. We want to make him scared. You know what? People ask me, they said, well, aren't you hoping that he votes no so that you can hit him hard? No. That would be selfish of me. I want what's best for this country. I want to put pressure on him to vote yes for the health care bill. Believe me, there's plenty of other things that he's done in Washington that I can point out to people. And even if he votes yes on the health care bill, that won't take it off the table. Believe me, there's a lot of things that we can do, but that's beside the point. I want him to vote yes on the health care bill. I want us to put pressure on him. I hope that he gets scared and he comes home. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. I'm hoping I'm not going to make Jason mad by doing this. Where are you at, Jason? Back there. We're talking right now about issuing a challenge to Vic Schneider. If you don't want to come out to town hall meetings, to legitimate town hall meetings where they're not stacked in favor of him, because that's what he's doing. He's got one on August 18th at the Clinton Center, but you have to register. Chances are, if you register and they find out that you're against the bill, you probably won't get in. Folks, we need somebody who's going to hold town hall meetings and be held accountable no matter what. No matter what. That's what he did this last week with Mike Ross. Tried to hide.
Behind sick kids.
We don't need a representative like that. And we're going to try our hardest to get him to sit down and debate me and him one-on-one. Let's hash out. Let's hash out what's in this bill. Let's hash out. You've seen the bill. This is 10 pages of things in this current bill. Section 163, government will have direct access to your bank accounts. Do you want to have government to have direct access to your bank account? It's in this bill. You know what? I want to ask Vic Schneider. Vic Schneider, do you support that?
He does for us, but not for himself. That's right. Yeah.
And you're right. We already know, I could ask him the question, but he's already answered. Vic Snyder, will you take a pledge that if this public option is passed, that you will go on a public option? Without a second thought, he said, of course not. I am here today to tell you that if this public health care plan is passed and I get elected, if I am able to, because you know how Congress is, they don't like to exempt themselves out. If I am able to, I will go on the same plan that you have. I make that pledge here today. If I cannot for some reason, then I will figure out some way to make sure that I know exactly what you have and what your issues are. Either through my family, who will more than likely be on it, or somebody else. Because I am willing to hold myself accountable to you. And I'm coming up with different ways that I can promise you that I will hold myself. And one of the ways is to hold town hall meetings, is to hold them in a way that anybody can come out, whether they agree with me or disagree with me, and give you at least a week's notice. And do it. And do it at such a time where you don't have to take off work to come to it.
Exactly.
Another way that I want to hold myself accountable is that every once in a while I want to be able to pick up the phone and hear what you have to say. Meaning if I'm sitting in my office and somebody calls and say, hey, I would like to give my opinion, I want my staff to say, well, wait a minute, hold it. David is in. I'll let you talk to him. I want to make that pledge to do that. As my wife can bear, as my beautiful wife can bear, she knows that I'm a computer person and sometimes it frustrates her. But I want to be able to use the computer, and for those of you, I have a Facebook page, I have a Twitter page, and I do a lot of communicating on that. Now, you know, when you get to be a congressman, your time schedule gets to be a little bit different, but I still want to be able to at least go on my Facebook page or set up a congressional website that I can go and I can read the comments of people who are in my district to know what they're thinking and what they're feeling. That's what it represents. And that's people, how can you not go up to Washington and not fall into that same trap? That's how you do it. By staying true to your roots. By staying true to the people that actually got you into that office. And not go up there and become in a little box like a lot of these politicians do. I appreciate everything that you've done so far. Again, this is going to be a tough fight. My wife and I have already made the commitment that we're going to stick this thing out, even if somebody else jumps in and I have a primary. Even when Vic Snyder and his attack dogs and Nancy Pelosi attack dogs and Rahm Emanuel and everybody from the president on down tries to run ads against me, and they've done this before in Arkansas, so I ask that if you hear something that doesn't seem to be true, it probably is not, but give me an opportunity